Come here.
Grab your Bible and grab your smokes. News and weather, music and jokes. See on the porch in my favorite house coat, it's the Sarah Beth Terry Show. She's a feral Christian out in the wild, the cigarette mom with a queen bee style, talking or singing about somebody you know. It's the Sarah Beth Terry, the Sarah Beth Terry, it's the Sarah Beth Terry Show. I'm Sarah Beth Terry, and you're not.
Good evening. Here's your top 10 headlines for Monday, June the 15th, 2026, in our usual format. The U.S. and Iran announced a peace agreement on Donald Trump's 80th birthday aimed at ending their recent and deadly conflict, with a formal signing expected later this week. The future of the Strait of Hormuz remains major global concern despite the announcement that shipping lanes will reopen immediately. G7 leaders gathered in France to discuss global security, trade, and economic stability. Russia continued attacks in Ukraine, including strikes that reportedly killed civilians and damaged historical sites. Protests against gender restrictions in Afghanistan turned deadly after police opened fire on demonstrators today. Gaza remains under intense scrutiny as ceasefire violations and humanitarian concerns continue. Sorry, I heard a raccoon at the same time and I was looking at everything. Albania saw large demonstrations opposing a proposed luxury resort development tied to international investors. Cuba's fuel and humanitarian shortages worsened amid continuing sanction disputes. The 2026 FIFA World Cup continues across North America with several high-profile opening matches. And let me just say out loud, can we have more overnight stays from other countries? Can we have over the Scottish people and the German people and the Columbia, can we have them over slumber parties more often? Because they are really loving Waffle House and the Ella Langley. And I've watched a lot of Scottish fans play bagpipes at like 6 in the morning at Airbnbs. I think we should start having more get-togethers. They seem fun. When you come here the correct way, we are excited to have you. International markets reacted positively to easing Middle East tensions, so there's that. In the United States, President Donald Trump announced that the U.S.-Iran peace agreement is complete, though details remain under review for the signing next week. Trump traveled to France for the G7 summit following the diplomatic breakthrough. The Wall Street hit record highs. The Wall Street, get excited, hit record highs as investors welcome reduced geopolitical risk this week. Oil prices fell sharply on expectations of restored Middle East energy exports. Questions remain in Washington about the long-term durability of the Iran agreement. Vice President J.D. Vance hinted at future presidential ambitions, but said he wouldn't make up his mind until after midterms. Congress continues debate over immigration and refugee policies involving Afghan nationals. So there's that. And U.S. sports fans are celebrating the championship run of the New York Knicks, who finally won something, so get excited. In Appalachia and West Virginia news this evening, West Virginia officials continue monitoring economic impacts from shifting energy prices. Tourism traffic is increasing as summer travel season begins across the Appalachian region, and infrastructure and broadband expansion projects remain key priorities across rural counties and communities. Coal and natural gas markets are watching developments in global energy trade because we need them for the data centers. Summer festival season is underway throughout Appalachia. Let's get out there and listen to some live music. Regional health systems report seasonal increases in travel-related medical visits. People get hurt when they go on trips, I know. Outdoor recreation areas are seeing strong attendance, and local governments continue flood preparedness planning as we look forward to the new bout of storms that are coming through this weekend. In entertainment this week, Hollywood studios are closely watching the newly approved major media merger. Summer blockbuster season continues to drive strong box office attendance, and we're going to talk about that for just a second. Me and my husband went on a date night tonight because it's a Monday night. We can, and that's our dates is during the weeks because we work on the weekend. And we went and watched Disclosure Day today. And let me go ahead and tell you to save your $30. For those of us who are conspiracy actualists, they didn't tell us anything that we didn't already know, and they didn't really tell us anything at all. Not to be a major spoiler alert, if you've not seen it yet and you want to say la 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 for the next couple minutes, was not worth it. Basically, everything that Steven Spielberg has told us is that aliens are real. We're going to try to make friends with them, but the government gets involved and screws it up. E.T., Disclosure Day. I had an emotional reaction to the film. It kind of unlocked a gate memory that I didn't think I had anymore. And it bothered me. I got a little teary-eyed during the movie, but it wasn't about the movie. It was about what I had like a memory unlocked during that movie. But it's just, we're going to not tell you anything. So we sat there for 2 hours and 26 minutes. Don't know any more now than when we went into the theater. Wait till it comes out on Amazon would be my recommendation. Hi, Mittens, would you please go kill some of them mice? Please. Driving me absolutely crazy. In country music headlines, Nashville is gearing up for one of its busiest summer concert seasons. CMA Fest always throws the hat in the ring for the year, and so there we are. Pretty excited about it. Major country tours continue posting strong ticket sales nationwide because people still want to get out there and party, so we're real excited to come and play for you, so let us know where you want us to come. We'll show up. Collaborations between country and pop performers remain a major trend. The collaborations in general are a trend. When you get to a certain level, you don't compete anymore, you collaborate. Because the stage is big enough for everybody. I've always believed that everybody's welcome at the table. You just have to bring something to the table. There's that. Independent country musicians are continuing to gain streaming success. Speaking of awesome streaming success and women power, congratulations to Ashley McBride, who celebrated 4 years sober today. Congratulations. It's a hard road. As someone who's also on it, it's very hard. So, hi, Cynthia. I was thinking about that today. I was watching the Mysteries at the Museum with that, what's his name, Don Wildman? Is that his name? Wildman. I think it's funny because his name was Wild Man, and he's always into something crazy. But anyway, have you noticed that the collective trap of nostalgia is kind of... I've noticed this as I've gotten a little older. Everybody's like, the good old days. I'm like, those weren't the good old days. Y'all romanticize a period of time where you forget the hardships, the robbing Peter to pay Paul, the stretching a dime, the burning the candles at both ends. We're romanticizing a period of history that maybe we long for because times were simpler in our own eyes, but weren't really simpler overall. And why do I know more about the wreck of the Titanic than I do about World War I? Why is it that I know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of a cell, but we can't balance our taxes? Why is it that I can tell you every genus and species of gorilla, but we can't talk about how to balance a checkbook? Why? Now that I'm getting older and I'm realizing that this generation is, one, the least populated generation, and we're not replacing people as quickly as they're passing away. Does that make sense? We are now in a situation to where the death rate is outpacing the birth rate. And Australia is also having the same problem. One of my fans reached out and said, if we continue in the same direction that we're going in Australia, there will be no Australia in the next 3 generations. And I was like, what's going on in the world? So, I'm just... you see what I'm saying? Why is it that they conditioned us a certain way to think certain things? Why is it that the timeline has shifted at least 10 times in my lifetime? Why is it that I have distinctive memories of certain things that nobody else has memories of? Why? Things that I worry about, things that I think about, things that I study. Why do all of us have the same recurring dream of finding hidden rooms in our house or being alone in a shopping mall? Why do all of us have the same disdain for fluorescent lighting? Why do all of us have the same memories of being in a windowless room and listening to tones on big headphones and learning how to play chess in 4th grade? Why? And now Tulsi Gabbard has dropped the big microphone and said, hey, before I leave real quick, let me just tell you that we've been funding biolabs in the Ukraine for the last, several years. Oh, and the MK Ultra files are all being declassified. Oh, and aliens are real, and it turns out that they live in the ocean. What? Humanity does not do well with sudden change. persons are intelligent. People are stupid. People are panicky and dumb and freak out at the slightest little. As a general population, we are panicky and are easy to manipulate. Persons by themselves are intelligent and have logical reasoning. But if you only have 15% of the population believing something, you can get the rest of them to follow suit. What if they're not aliens? What if literally there is 66 books in the Bible and about 35 more that they left out because of the way that they talked about women, telling us about giants and races of people and fiery chariots and wheels in the sky with a bunch of eyes? If that was the vernacular of the day that you had, wouldn't that be how you described it? Less than a month ago, I put a video up of Elon Musk and his Starlink satellites into outer space, and half of my comments are still arguing over what it was. And that's with certifiable scientific proof. That is with actual witnesses. That is with Elon going, those are mine. There were 75 of them. I let them off at 9:15. They went across your sky this evening. And we are still doubting it. These are people who didn't have pictures, who didn't have internet, who didn't have Wikipedia, who didn't have a government to cover it up. And they're like, there was a big chariot on fire and it touched down and it took Enoch into heaven. Well, that must have been what it was. Draw a picture of it with this chisel into that rock over there so somebody will know what we're talking about in a couple thousand years. And then we all look at the pyramids in Egypt, at the pyramids in Mexico, at Machu Picchu, at the city-top citadels in Peru and Chile. We look at the jungles of the Amazon. We look at, what? Pumapunku. We look at the Great Wall. There's a consistent theme. And if you look at the timeline of history, Stonehenge and the pyramids built around the same damn time. Did anybody else realize that there was people in what would be England? Does anybody else realize that London was founded in like the 11th century? And no one talks about why were they over there? Like, what was going on? Why are there hieroglyphics in the Grand Canyon? Why is 97% of the Grand Canyon off limits to the civilians? Why is it that 90% of Nevada is under don't fly space? Why? What are y'all hiding? We know that you're already on iPhone 55 and we're just now getting 17 released to us. We already know that. We know that you've been reverse engineering the technology that you found in Roswell, New Mexico in the 40s. We know that you've been lying to the public for over 100 years about what's going on in the world. We know this. We've caught you in it multiple times. After I learned the real story about Christopher Columbus and Rosa Parks, I kind of went, maybe they're lying about a bunch of other shit too. Why? That's the big question. Why? Because of control, because of money and power, because whoever gets the microphone first gets to tell the story, because if I know something that you don't know, that makes me a threat. I'm not worried about artificial intelligence. I'm worried about collective intelligence and the fact that we don't have any. We used to have critical thinking and common sense. We used to get together and go, did you also see that? Because I saw that when you talk about it. Now we're told to tattle on our neighbors. Don't believe anything that you hear, half of what you see. We have to verify those sources. They might be on the take. They might be telling something crazy. They might be on some kind of psycho drug that makes them hallucinate. No. They're making us doubt each other. They're making us doubt ourselves. They're making us doubt our Creator. For what reason? Is this where the battle lines are drawn in the battle of good and evil? Or is this where we finally have the wool ripped back from our eyes and go, this is what they've been trying to hide from us for the past 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 10,000 years? To what end? What's the end game? What's the end goal? That's all I want to know. I know where I'm going to end up. I know when it's all said and done, I'm going to be sitting right up there, probably running the bingo parlor in heaven because I can smoke there. But I'm looking at it going, to what end? I've read the book. We win in the end. So what's the point of all this? I don't know. Just things that I'm thinking about, like, What's the end game? And that's true, but at the same time, everybody's like, don't be a sheep. Watch for wolves. Watch for wolves. Wolves don't eat the sheep. You know who eats the sheep? The shepherd. Maybe pay attention to who you're following. Seems like I read that there would be wars of rumors or rumors of wars, sorry, wars of rumors, wars and rumors of wars until the end of time. Seems like it said in the end days that we would form some kind of peace with the Middle East, and we signed a peace treaty yesterday. Well, we haven't signed it yet. We've agreed on it. We haven't signed it yet. Seems like it said in the last days that the moon and the sun will start doing weird things, and you'll see signs in the heavens, and that the seasons will kind of get out of whack, and there'll be floods and famines and fires and things that you can't explain upon the earth because they're acts of God. Seems like I've read all this. I feel like it's closer than you think. When we get too close to the truth, that's when shit goes awry. Tower of Babel. They're knowing too much. We got to go down there and confuse their languages and knock this tower down. Adam and Eve, they ate from that tree. They can't know stuff. They got to get going. So, you see what I'm saying? We can't know too much. But the things we're supposed to know, they're still keeping hidden from us because of control. I know whose side I'm on. I'm not worried about when it's all said and done. I just want to know what's happening in the world and what kind of signs and stuff to look for. That's what I'm kind of looking at. I'm like, I'm not worried about what happens at the end. I'm worried about what happens from now till that time. That's what I'm concerned about. Thinking about it. And why did I have such an emotional reaction when I saw the footage of what they were doing to those quote-unquote aliens? It literally... Sean looked over and I was got big tears rolling down my face. And I'm like, why am I having an emotional reaction to this? This is a movie. And I'm like, what if this ain't a movie? What if they're plainly telling us what the hell's going on and we're paying $10 a piece to go see it and eating popcorn while we're doing it? What if they've been telling us the truth all along and we're like, oh, that's just a movie? Even if it was standing... I think that's why we're so hell-bent against AI, is because when God comes back, when Jesus comes back, we're going to be like, that's AI. When the truth is staring us in the face, we're going to be able to recognize it because we've been so conditioned to accept bullshit as fact. Just things I'm thinking about. We went and watched Disclosure Day tonight, and I'm like, I can't decide if it's the dumbest movie I've ever seen or if it's brilliant. I can't decide. It might be both. I feel very small. I know that my contribution to the world is very minute. I write songs, I tell stories, I raise chickens. Sometimes those things go hand in hand, sometimes they fight against each other. But did people that changed the world knew they were supposed to change the world? Like, did they have some kind of divine call? Did Roy Rogers knew that he was going to be who he was? Did Will Rogers know who he was going to be? Did Mark Twain know? Did Plato know? Did Socrates know? Did Moses know? Did David know? Like, how do you know? Do you wake up and go, I'm supposed to change the world? Or do you just kind of change the world and go, I was not expecting this? You know, that's things I think about. Little things that I ponder. Things just moving. Why are all of these scientists disappearing? Why are all these NASA people disappearing? Why are we keep looking out in outer space when things are in the ocean? Why are we being real quiet about Nephilim? Why are we being real quiet about the fact that it mentions giants throughout the entire Bible and no one has preached about it or talked about it in Sunday school? I didn't learn about giants until I started reading the stuff that they didn't put in VBS. I'm like, ho, wait a minute. Wasn't just Jack and the Beanstalk? Fee, fi, fo, fum, what's going on here? Caroline, that's me. It's a very much hurry up and wait kind of feeling. And I don't like today I almost had a panic attack. I called my mother and I was like, what do I do? She said, do you have any mentholyptus? I was like, I don't think that's a word, but I understand what you're saying. I just had that panicky like, something's coming. It's like being on the train track and there's nothing coming, but you feel the rumble. That's what I feel like right now. Goliath was one of many. Hebron was overrun with giants when they took over the promised land. The sons of God bed down with the daughters of man. And if you read in the books of Enoch, the women who defiled themselves by sleeping with the sons of God were cast into the sea to become sirens, mermaids. Lori Lou, I'm looking at, we went out to Disclosure Day. I don't know about footage, but the stuff's on there, and like the stuff that's been declassified, you can get on, I think it's aliens.gov, and you can watch whatever they've just classified so far. It's all to divide and conquer. It's all to instill fear in you, make you doubt your neighbor, make you doubt what's in front of you, make you doubt the word of God. It's all a diversion. But if you have discernment, you're like, you can see through this, right? Like, this is bullshit. Like, you can see this. I don't know. I just felt like I've been in a fog for like 2 days. I'm just like, something's happening. I sleep. I've slept a lot. I slept really, really late today. I got up and let the chickens out. I called my mother, and then I went right back to bed. I was like, I'm just not feeling it today. I was just almost like a Benadryl coma. That's what it's felt like for like 2 days. And I'm like, and every time I wake up, I'm like, grab the Bible and I'll read a little more and I'll fall asleep reading. And then Sean will put it back on my nightstand with my bookmark in it so I don't lose my place. And then I'll wake up and I'm like, where's my Bible? Like, I don't know. I don't know why I have this urgency to like study before the final. Like, it's a weird feeling. I don't know if the Schumann residence has been off kilter. I don't know if it's because of the new moon. I don't know if it's because of them disclosing information to us at a high rate of speed. I don't know. I don't know. But I feel it. It literally is like laying on the railroad tracks. And not a thing coming, but you can feel them railroad tracks rumbling in your lot. Something's coming. That's why I sit on my porch and I talk to God, or I go out in the garden, He'll talk back to me. I think that we are created in His image. I think that the reason that we have hobbies like gardening and creating and cooking and serving and junking and is because that's what He does. I feel like that is instilled in us to find something old and make it new again, to pick that up, to clean it up, to serve, to get you something to eat, something to drink. I feel like that's instilled in something. That's a gift of the Spirit. I also feel like discernment is often being misconstrued as hate. I feel like because you have discernment, or if you have the gift of discernment and you call something out like you see it, you're often misconstrued by another hateful label that they're like, well, she's a bigot, or she's a racist, or she's homophobe. No, I'm not. I'm just calling it like it is. I don't know. But we went and had a little date night, and I love my husband so much. We went to Cato's first, and I went to Cato, and I was like, I need a pair of flip-flops, because the pair of flip-flops I just bought, Tom has already hidden from me, and now they're gone, so I don't know where they are. So I had to go buy another pair of flip-flops. And while I was in there, I got a couple skirts that were on sale. But anyway, and then we went and watched that movie. And he's sitting there watching it the whole time. And I'm like, I don't know. Things are weird. Oh, we did do the show announcement. Excuse me, for Camden. Excuse me, Tennessee. Hiccups. August 8th, Songbird Campground. Erica Nicole's opening for me. So get your tickets now. I have the hiccups. It was called Disclosure Day. And I'm watching it like it's a little Signs, a little Edward Snowden, a little Don't Look Up, a little Independence. I'm like, I think they're going. My mom always used to go, what color's your underwear? And I'm like, I don't know. And by then you'd forget to hiccup. Disclosure Day, Laura Lou. Disclosure Day. It's in theaters right now. So anyway, my goal is to go in here and scrounge us up something to eat, because by the time we got to the movie, it was too late for us to grab something to eat. And popcorn is not going to hold me over. And then when we got out, it was too late to do anything but a drive-thru. And I thought, well, shit, I just got lunch meat at home. I'm not going to pay for a burger when I've got lunch meat at home. Stuff. And then tomorrow, my goal is to get the rest of these plants in the ground. And wonder why I'm not real sure why my... What's it called? Citronella, thank you. Is not, I've repotted it and it's like it's not perked back up. Heather's making cinnamon rolls at 11 o'clock at night. Weird flex. Thanks for bringing the rest of it for the rest of us. Anyway, just things I was thinking about. I'm like, maybe that's the point of that movie. It's supposed to get you thinking, supposed to get you discussing things, supposed to get you to open your eyes, supposed to get you to listen. Pay attention. Maybe they've been telling us the whole time. We've all been like, it's just a movie. I don't know, things I was thinking about. Just so we know. Hey, Laura, what's up? So, the goal for me tomorrow is to put the rest of the hostas in the ground and gather up my stuff that needs to go to the storage unit, because it's starting to get a little cluttery and I don't like that. I gotta make some room. Thank you, Natalie. Find me a show down there. I ain't never played in Arkansas. It'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. If you are going to be in the Bellington, West Virginia, Elkins area, I play there Saturday night at the E3 Club for West Virginia Day. Pretty excited about that. Then coming up, hang on, I got to get on my calendar so I won't tell you the wrong time and wrong place. We've also got shows coming up middle of July. We're going to be at Bobby G's in Huntington, West Virginia. We're also going to be at 145 Roadhouse in Campton, Kentucky towards the end of July. And then August is going to be crazy. August 1st, I'm at the Appalachian Artist Festival in Inez, Kentucky. Then I'm going to be in Benton, Tennessee. Benton County, Tennessee. to play at the Songbird Campground on the 8th, and those tickets are on sale now on my website. And then the 22nd, we're back at the Fix in Sapphire, North Carolina, and then I think that we're running with the band for a couple weeks, and then we go to Florida. So anyway, there's only a handful of dates left, so if you want to come and play in your neck of the woods, I would get on the horn now. A couple of people were like, hold this date. And I was like, are you wanting to hold this date? Because I've got 4 people asking for this date. And they're like, oh, I forgot. I'm like, if you want it, great. I'll be glad to come and visit with you. But it's one of those, like, you got to, like, make a decision, like, now. Bobby G's does not have food, so come and eat beforehand. Lots of places to eat in the Huntington area. Happy birthday, Rita. Natalie, holler at him and be like, we'd like Sarah Beth Terry to come there. And they'll be like, who's that? And then you give them a website. So there you go. I'm not too far away. Find me a place to play near you. I also do house concerts and private parties. So, let you know. Melanie, get your tickets now. They went on sale on my website. So, we're going to be in Perry, Florida, middle of October. Still working out all the details on that, and I'll get that link up soon. But if there's a place near you that you'd like us to play, then send us the information about that venue or reach out to that venue and say, I'd like to recommend somebody to come play here. And then Sean will get on the horn and y'all get on the horn and we'll make it happen. Or you could be like, I have a really big backyard and I have 100 friends that'd like to come over and visit. Cool. We'll make that happen too. We play just as many private events as we have public events, and we love to come visit. Birthdays, anniversaries, divorce parties, barbecues, luau's. Whatever you feel like. So, but Saturday we will be in Bellington, up near Elkins, West Virginia. So make sure that you come to that show, because I have not been up there since it was snowing on the ground. So I'm excited to go back now that I can wear something that is not a fur coat. Oh my gosh, it was so cold. It was so cold. We had still had a really good crowd, but it was like 5 inches, 6 inches of ice and snow on the ground. I was like, we're not going to have anybody here. And I was like, there's a lot of people here. So now that it's warm, I'm hoping there'll be even more people. So there you go. But in the meantime, friends, that's all I know. Just something to think about, something to ponder. Keep your Bibles open, your powder dry, and your head on a swivel, because people are acting crazy. Be nice to old people, animals, and children. Try to love your neighbor, and if you can't, give it to God, because He loves you, and I do too. In the meantime, until we meet again, remember, and perhaps most important of all, I'm Sarah Beth Terry, and you're not. Good night.